And we're really honored to have Sofia of 9/11 Mysteries, just a fantastic documentary that one of the most powerful statements, I think, that has been documented on any subject. And it just works on so many levels, and I hope when you see it, you'll purchase a few copies and try to spread it around to everyone you know so we can let 9/11 truth be known to a much wider audience. So that being said, let me introduce Sofia, 9/11 Mysteries.
Thank you very much. I don't know if I have to, can I be heard now? Is it working?
Yes.
Well, a lot of people call me a filmmaker, but I am not. I am just a person. I was lucky to be able to make this movie. I really did it as a favor. Do you remember Brad, who starts the movie? Brad, the conservative Republican. A lot of people think Brad made the movie, and in fact, if it weren't for Brad, the movie wouldn't have been made, because Brad kept telling me to make a better movie, to make one that was kind of, you know, at a level higher than the other movies we had. A lot of people in 9/11 had gone to great lengths to learn video editing and to create the story of 9/11, to explain it so that people had something to look at and pass around. And I had never made a video before, and I said to Brad, well, how do I do this? He said, you'll just have to figure it out. And I said, but how do I figure it out? He said, you'll just have to hire people to tell you how to do it. So I thought I could probably do that. I met a few video editors, and I picked one or two, and I worked with them, and then they quit, and I picked another one, and then that one quit, and this is how it kept going and going. And the money kept going and going also. I thought it would be maybe $5,000 or $10,000, and then it was $15,000 or $20,000, and then it was $30,000 with no end in sight. And I said, wow, well, I've already spent this much. Now what do I do? And I decided I had to keep on, because I don't believe in throwing good money after bad, but the signs were that it wasn't going to be bad. So I just pressed on, and I was very scared. I was very alone. I did the researching of all the material. I used other people's material, but I did fact-checking. I kept coming across statements, and then I would say, but how is that possible? And I would make more phone calls and go to more websites and dig and dig and dig. So in creating this movie, I answered all my own questions. And I'm not a guy. Guys like guns, they like explosions, they like to see buildings falling down. I didn't like any of this. I didn't think I would have fun making this movie until it took on a life of its own. So I don't know how I made it. I don't think I could ever do it again. And I know everybody's going to ask me when part 2 is coming out. But you can probably already tell that I'm not excited about doing this all over. It was very solitary. It was very uphill. And I'm just amazed that it turned out the way that it did, and that I have had so much positive response. So all I can say is, if you all will help me in some way, like stand with me, the public has to contribute to this. I am not going to go over $100,000 in debt by myself, especially with the economy rocking and teetering the way it is. I don't know how to do the next movie. I don't know where I'll get the impetus from, but it's got to come from all of us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so that's my intro. Now you can watch.
Thank you. Thank you, Sofia. She will be back after the documentary for questions and answers, and then give another lecture on 9/11. So here we go.
Thank you for sitting through that movie again. I'm sure that a lot of people have seen it many, many times. I think I've seen it dozens. Is this not on? Anyway, the version that you saw today was slightly different. I was approached by a distributor from Europe who wanted to get the movie on television worldwide. So I updated it and put in the little bit about the BBC. I made some more text clarifications, and the music had to be changed. So this last song, which distorted, because it is a very high note that is sung by very young girls from the Pacific Northwest. This was a classical piece that was composed in the tradition of opera, and it was composed solely for 9/11 Mysteries. And I have created a CD now called Ground Zero. I want to market this to the mainstream. This has absolutely no mention of controlled demolition on it. All it says is that it's the soundtrack from the acclaimed film 9/11 Mysteries, and the songs are all written with titles that basically kind of give themes of that day. There is a beautiful insert in here that unfolds, and the text on it asks questions, what I consider to be the looming questions about 9/11. So I hope that I can figure out how to sell this to the public at large so that it brings them in to the idea of 9/11 being an unfinished job, not necessarily an inside job. I have also created, 2,000 to start with of these rubber bracelets, which I'm sure everyone has already seen. The Lance Armstrong ones are very popular in bright yellow. But I came up with the term rediscover 9/11, because 9/11 truth, as I'm talking